G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. We are booted first time into Ubuntu 18.04 desktop and something a little bit new here. An Ubuntu welcome screen, I suppose you would call it, what's new in Ubuntu. So just gives you a little bit of a overall of the look of the desktop. Some highlighted features there, or highlighted parts of the desktop. So we shall click next. Set up live patch. This will update your kernel by applying some updates that would normally require restarting. Live patch. Let's do that and set up live patch. See what's involved in this anyway. We need an Ubuntu 1 sign-on, so let's just skip that for now. Okay, Ubuntu can report information that helps developers improve it. This includes things like the computer model, what software is installed, and the approximate location you choose, which is Australia, Perth. Show the first report legal notice. Would you like to send this information? Yes, I will help the developers out, no problem at all. And you're ready to go. You can use software to install apps like these. So open software. Okay, so it shows you what software is, and software is also, where is it? Here, software. Yep, same thing, done. Okay, so that's finished that. Right, so what we're going to do here is we are going to run through a list of things to do after we've installed Ubuntu. First of all, we are going to choose the best server. So we go to the updater. Well, that's probably not the updater. So what we'll do is, first of all, update. Well, actually, I wonder if we can, let's do software and updates first. So menu. Software and updater, I think we need this one here, software and updater here. So our settings, I should have just opened settings from there. Okay, so we go to Ubuntu software, go to other software. If you'll be able to find more software if you choose canonical partners. So I don't know what's happened there. Oh, it's probably because there's an update going. Close that. So maybe we can't do that yet. So let's install the updates first of all. Okay, so the software on this computer is up to date. So let's go to the software and updater again, which is here. Hopefully it'll allow me to do what I wanted to do the first time. Settings. Ubuntu software, other software, install canonical partners. Okay. I don't know what's going on there. Let me have a look. Maybe I'm choosing the wrong software and updates, maybe. Okay, software and updates. Okay. Okay, so we ticked that. I don't know what's going on there. Something a little bit strange. Although this is my second recording because the first one I installed the community theme and logged out, and I could not log back in. I got a blank screen, so that wasn't good. So canonical partners, and then we go to software, go to click on this drop down list here, go to other, select best server, let it do a check. Okay, so I would have to say that that is the best server there from Romania. I'm not sure if that's right. Okay, so it didn't even select the Australian server. So these must be the fastest mirrors. I'll try that one. Choose server and close and reload. So choosing one of those servers, they're the fastest ones that it's meant to have found. Don't know about the Romania one though. I don't know whether that'd be quicker than an Australian one. So, okay. So now we're going to go back to the Software Center and we're going to look for a package called Synaptic. I'm not sure if it's in here. Synaptic Package Manager. So we're going to install that. Password. So what I want to show you here is if you're new with Ubuntu, what we're going to do is there's 3 ways of installing things. That was the first way, is your software manager. And if you're from Windows, that's probably your most preferred, is a graphical user interface. So that's that one done. So I also could have typed in the terminal sudo apt install Synaptic, and that would have done the same thing. So now what we're going to do is there's a certain amount of things that we do in the terminal. Now what we're going to do is we're going to launch Synaptic. Actually, let's use this Synaptic. So start typing Synaptic. There we go. Synaptic Package Manager. Yep, no problem there. Okay, so we can go back. So Synaptic Package Manager is installed. So now we're going to install ubuntu-restricted-extras. Now, the best way to do that, oops, change Windows there. We do sudo apt install ubuntu restricted. It's a dash or a hyphen, I think it's called, hyphen or dash extras. So that's what we can do. Now, if you don't like using terminal, you can also use Synaptic Package Manager. So ubuntu dash restricted. Actually, just look for restricted extras. No dashes, no nothing. Let's just make it easy. So let's see, there we go. You've got Ubuntu restricted extras. So what you can do is click on that. That's a left click, mark for installation. It'll tell you what it's going to install and mark that. And then you can click apply. That is the same as typing this in the terminal. So we can apply that. To be removed. Yep, that's normal because the terminal tells you that as well. So if I was to do that in the terminal now, it won't work because there's already another package manager running. But I'll just put my password in and show you. See, it's locked because I'm running this package manager. So then we can apply. I don't believe you find those in the Software Center as far as I know. The EULA, the end license for the, you can scroll down. Do you accept? Let's have a look. Yep. Okay, next. I just accept that anyway. Ubuntu-restricted-extras. Let's have a look in the software center. No application found, see, so. So the Synaptic Synaptic Package Manager is the middle between your graphical user interface software center and the terminal. So it's a bit of both. It's not as scary as a terminal if you're new with Linux, but the terminal itself is not that bad anyway once you get used to it. So it's just good to explain things and how they work, especially for new people. So that's changes are applied, and we can automatically close that after changes are applied. Now what we're going to do is this one here, avoid issues performing media tasks, video editing and transcoders. So we're going to put an extra codec in here. So what we would normally do is copy and paste or type that in, and you would install it there. But we can also in here look for libavcodec and see if it finds that, and we're looking for extra, libavcodec-extra. Well, according to this it's already installed, so let's have a look. Let's close the Synaptic Package Manager for a minute and let's do that one. Yep, 0 to upgrade, 0 to newly install, 0 to remove, and 0 not to upgrade. So libavcodec-extra is already the newest version, so it must have installed with ubuntu-restricted-extras. That's fine. So let's open Synaptic again, just to keep that working with us here. So now what we're going to do, allow DVD playback. So that's another one we would normally copy and paste from a website or something, which is things to do after installing Ubuntu 18.04. If you search for that, you'll find plenty of information. But we'll do the search, libdvd-pkg. And there it is there. So we'll click on that, mark for install, and this is what it's going to install. All of this stuff here. Mark that and apply and apply. These are all just dependencies and all little files and all that needed to run all these things. That's what it's installing there. So those three things there that I've done with Synaptic, or I could have done with Terminal, is there's no other way. You can't find these things in the software center. But like I say, Synaptic's a good compromise. And that's the one you need, libdvd-CSS2, which helps recognize DVDs. So yes, next, and beautiful. That's what we wanted. So if you've got a DVD player, it should work after that. So looking at all this here, we should be right from now on. We probably shouldn't need these anymore, I would think. So let's just have a look at this, do a search for. The next thing we're going to do is enable a firewall, which is GUFW. So click on that install, put your password. Okay, that's launched the firewall, and we need to put in our password. So we toggle that on, and firewall is running. Now there are rules you can put in place. Now if you've got your modem or your router and you've got a hard drive connected to that, then you need to put some certain rules in place. So now Gnome tweak tool we're going to install. Just do a search for tweak. Gnome tweaks, that's the one we want to install. Okay, so that's that done. We need to install Gdebi, and I'll show you why. So let's go back and search for Gdebi. Gdebi-pkg installer. Install that. And then you'll find out why shortly. So what we're going to do is open up Firefox. Now I'm just going to go to Google, install Google Chrome. We're going to install Google Chrome. Download Chrome, 64-bit for .deb, that's why we've installed Gdebi for Debian and Ubuntu. I'll save that just in case I need it again. Okay, so that's Gdebi, Google Chrome downloaded, so let's go to our downloads folder. So now it's a .deb file, so the reason we've installed Gdebi is we need that to install that. So it's like installing a .exe in Windows, same deal. So we double click that. It'll open the installer and click install, put in your password. Okay, so now Google Chrome is installed, so we'll do a search for Google Chrome, there it is. Just press escape key to go back, that's fine. Okay, so that's Google Chrome installed. Now we need to do extensions. So what we're going to do is we're going to do extensions. So press the super key to open all windows. Yeah, I need that. We're going to extensions, so 1, 2, 3 clicks will highlight all that, copy that, paste and go. So this is the page where you get extensions. So if you're running the Gnome desktop and you like extensions, this is where you need to go. So click here to install the browser extension and allow. Now you'll see a little foot pop up in the right hand corner here. There's the Gnome foot, that's installed. Okay. So we need to close that and we need to open that back up again. And there's the websites there. So if you type something in the address, it should come up on the top sites here, which is very handy, that I must say. Now, after doing that, you get this error here. Although the Gnome shell integration extension is running, native host connector is not detected, so we need to refer to the documentation, which is the same as here. Sudo apt install Chrome Gnome shell. Now that's what it tells you to do. We're looking for the Ubuntu one, which is here, Ubuntu Linux, sudo apt install Chrome Gnome shell. Now I don't know whether that's in the software center. Chrome Gnome shell. Let's have a look. No, it's not to be found. Okay, so that's probably another Synaptic / terminal job that we need to do. Chrome Gnome shell. There it is there. And that would be the same as, I need to put my terminal as a shortcut, add to favorites, that'll stay there. So if I close it, open it again, there we go. So installing this in the terminal, like so, copy and paste, is the same as just clicking this Chrome Gnome shell, mark for installation, apply and apply. Same with the terminal. If you put if you was to put that in the terminal and hit enter and put your password, it'll do the same thing, it'll install. So that's that done. Let's close the browser again, refresh it. So what we want to do is go to the extension site. So I have on here, I think there was 3 things I wanted to install. All right, so we've done that. I'm not installing extensions yet. I shall follow my list here first of all. So, so that's number 11. Number 12, install Dconf editor. So we'll go back to the software center and type in Dconf editor. Dconf editor. Now, for me, I would probably just go sudo apt install Dconf-editor, and I'd press enter and put my password and install. Or also, once again, if I'm going to use this much, I should probably put it on the dock as well for now. So right click and add to favorites. Synaptic package manager has been added to your favorites. You can undo that if you like. And this one here, you can go Dconf and search. If you don't put the whole word in, there it is, Dconf-editor. So anything you see in here, if you was to type that in the terminal when it's installed, it would actually run that program, because that's the terminal command to run that program anyway. So, but however, we have it in the software center, so that's good. Okay. Now, what we're going to do with the Dconf editor is a couple of things. This dock here, we're going to do a bit of customizing on that. So if we press the super key, Now the super key opens up the overviews menu, the overview, not quite sure what it's called, overview or something, and you can see all your open windows, so you can choose which window. It tells you what it is: simple screen recorder, downloads, Firefox, and then you can move these to another workspace, or you can move it back to that workspace, and dynamically these workspaces add, or they go. So there's by default 2 workspaces. If you add that to another workspace, then by default it adds another one. If you take it away from that workspace, by default it reduces it back to 2. And then you can start typing for anything you want to do. So Dconf, there's your program, press enter. And thanks for using Dconf editor for editing your settings. Don't forget that some options may break applications, so be careful. So we'll be careful. So we want to navigate to, let's get this set up here, org gnome shell, so org gnome, scroll down to shell, org gnome shell, extensions, and dash to dock. Click on that. So the first thing we want to do is, if we click on these here, it'll open the program, but that's it. So it didn't minimize. So we're looking for click action. So this is in alphabetical order. Oh, if you click on one, doesn't matter, go back to dash to dock. So we're looking for click action. Click action. So click on that. Now, by default, it's previews, which means when you click on this, it'll open it up if it's minimized, but it does not minimize it. So if we turn off the default, we click on this and we want to minimize. Click the little tick down the bottom. That's done. So now, minimize, maximize. That's much better. So that's the first one. Now the dock position, that's up to you what you want to do there. Click on dash to dock to go back to your main menu. Look for dock position there. Click on that. Now we can turn off the default and we could put it at the bottom. Click the tick. Now it's at the bottom. Now if you're on a laptop, it's on the left for a very good reason, because it does take up less of your real estate from top to bottom, and you can choose to auto hide this in the tweak tool, which we'll get to later. So I'll keep mine on the left for now. I'm happy with that. Next one is the running indicator style. So this thing here, you can see a little dot. Those dots just mean that something is running, or that application is actually open. This one's not, that's not, but that's running. Okay, so we're looking for running indicator style. Oh, I've gone past it, there we go. So currently the default is dots, so turn off the default. I like the segmented because it puts that's ticket. So you can see there it's segmented. So there's a long bar. Actually, that's probably a bit too long, that bar. Dots default. What's metro? That didn't do much at all, did it? That didn't change either. Okay, so it looks like dots and squares are the dots and squares. So there's not much changing there, is there? And it would be nice, in other desktops you can actually change the focused app to something else. So at least you know which one is the focused one. It's no big deal anyway. I think I like the squares, that's not bad. So back to dash to dock. And show apps at top is the other one. show apps at top. If you turn that on, now your menu is up the top, which is what the original Unity desktop was, the menu up top. And when you put the dock position down the bottom, let's look for the dock position, and you put that on the bottom, then your menu is on the far left hand side, which is a lot more of a familiar position than being over on the right hand side here. So that's the advantage of that. So if you was to put that if you was to put show apps up top, turn it back off, then the app comes back over to the right hand side. So I think I'll leave it there, and I'll put dock position back to the left for now. Okay. Now the last one is the utility backlit items, which is something that they had in the original Unity desktop. It's right down the bottom, and if you toggle that on, you will see a brightness within the apps there. Just gives a nice little feature, but it's very hard to see your indicators on that one. So I don't know whether we can running indicator, whether we can change that. Might look better. Default. Oh. Dots. Let's go to segmented. Yeah, very hard to see, aren't they? Solid. So I would say at this point, let's go for squares and back to dash to dock, scroll to the bottom again. I would turn that off because that's very hard to see. So I think they need a little bit of work on that one. So that's all we have for the Dconf editor. So let's close that. Now extensions, let's install some extensions. Now 3 extensions I like to install. The first one is user themes. Now the user themes, if you have a look at this shell theme on the top bar and this left hand dock has a theme around that, a certain theme color. So if I was to minimize this, now you can see it's gone transparent. And then when you maximize things or open windows, it gets dark again. So that's your theme. So if you want to change that theme, this needs to be on. And then you click install. Now that's done. Then we'll do dash to panel. Dash to panel is the other one I want to do. So we'll do a search for that, dash to panel. And we'll click on that, dash to panel, toggle it on, click on install, and that should be done. They do not take long to install. Now it's now dash to panel is up and running, as you can see. And the next thing is the Gno-Menu. So let's search for that. Gno-Menu. Click on that, toggle it on, click on install. Now when you install applications, extensions, then by default they automatically turn on. So now what we need to do is so we've got a menu here now. Now, one thing with this menu, I noticed there's a bit of a bug. If we click on one of these category lists disappear. So let's try it. See how they've disappeared. So now, one thing, you can either restart the shell, which is this one here, restart shell, or if you go into this and just toggle anything on and off, normally they appear again. There you go. So they're back. So there's just a slight bug there. Now this one's the apps menu, and this is the view. So I think there's too many things going on there, and then we got this one here as well. So in the menu, if we go to, actually it's not that one, is it? So we need the tweak tool. So they're the three I'm installing. So we go to extensions, we go to the dash to panel. No, it's not the one, it's just actually the Gnome menu. So the view, I don't want there. So remove the view button from panel. That's gone. And remove apps button from panel. That's gone. So now what you've got, there's a few other things you can mess around here. Application grid icons, width of application, size of application list icons, and all sorts of things. So you can mess around with that, just toggle things on and off. You can change that name there, this menu name, if you like, and you can turn off the icon, which I think is the gnome foot there. Let's check that. Now it's gone. Okay. So that's the Gnome menu. Now the other thing here is, now that I've done this, all the changes to the doc that I made probably don't stand anymore because we're using the dash to panel. They will if we turn off the dash to panel, turn that off, then we're back to this. Okay, so we turn it back on, then we can adjust things here. So the running indicator position, which is the little dots we spoke about before, so you can have them up the top. See that they're up the top now, or you can have them, I prefer them at the bottom. Now the running indicator style for the focused app is called Metro. I'm going to do segmented, which you can now see. This is my focused application here. It's got a long red line along the bottom. And for the running indicator style for the unfocused apps, so these are all the ones that are open but not focused, I'm going to go, I think it was dashes. So there you go. So you got dashes. So that didn't work in the doc one. So I don't know whether they've actually worked on that or not. So the shorter line in the middle is the unfocused apps, and the long line is the focused apps. So there's plenty of other behavior things you can do here. But for starters, that's a good start. And sometimes these things are all about exploring for yourself. So that's just I'm just showing you how I normally set it up. I'd give you a bit of a start. You might not even want to do this. You might be happy with the doc the way it was. That's fine. So everybody likes their workflow very differently. So I'm just showing you the way I do things. So now nightlight, if we go to settings, so let's type settings. So we'll use the panel for now. Settings. And we go to, where was it? Settings, screen display. If we can find a screen display, which is probably, no, it's not there. Devices, screen display, so it's under devices. Nightlight, you can turn it on, and that takes the redness or the blueness. I can't remember how this works now, but I think it takes out the blue light. So your screen sort of turns red at night, but it's supposed to help you sleep. So staring at that bright screen is really not good for your sleep patterns. So I suggest you turn that on. It looks weird. It looks really weird after time, but you get used to it. So if you're on a laptop, which I am, you need to install your battery saver. So I don't know if TLP is in the software center, so we're going to have a look. No, it's not there. So that is another Synaptic package manager. And terminal. So you would do this one here. Let's have a look in Synaptic first, see if it's there. TLP. TLP, there it is. So TLP and TLP RDW. So let's install that, and it will do the RDW anyway. So mark that. Apply. Now I don't know in the Synaptic Package Manager if it actually starts the application. So we'll do that in the terminal. I'm trying to keep it the graphical user interface, GUI, which a lot of people call the GUI. I'm trying to keep it to the GUI so it's easier for new people to understand. So I'll paste and we'll start that and put my password. TLP started in AC mode because I'm charging. Okay, so that's done. Now extraction tools, you need 7-zip, P7-zip. Let's have a look again at the software center. 7-zip. Archiver. Okay, so here we go. So Xarchiver. So let's install that. That looks pretty handy. It looks like it installs everything you need. So, yep, it supports all those archives. So that's good. So that you only need one, which is an Xarchiver. So I'm going to put that in my notes. Xarchiver. That's good. We only need to do one install. That's done. Nice. Okay. So in here you have Thunderbird, which is an email client, which I think works reasonably well. You can get MailSpring if you're familiar with MailSpring. So I don't know if you use Telegram, Spotify. So let's go back to the software center. So now what we're going to do is you've got Spotify here, you've got MailSpring here. So we're going to do a search for those anyway, because I want to see if there's any more than one. Spotify. There's only one. So if you click on that, now what you need to do first of all is scroll down and have a look at the source. And this is important now with any Ubuntu based distro. In the software center, you need to check where the source is. Now, in this case, it's the Snap Store. So I don't really use Spotify, so I'm not going to bother installing it. But that's the Snap app. So now they've integrated all the software into the software center. so you don't have to go to websites to look for it. I think that's good. So the other one was Telegram. So now what we have here is we have 1, 2, 3, 4 telegrams. So that's interesting. So this one is from the Snap Store. So what you got to look here is if there's more than one, the version number 1.2.6, Telegram desktop 1.2.17. So 0.6 would have to be higher than that. Snap Store. And Telegram, that's from the Bionic Universe, which is the Ubuntu repos, which is 1.2.17. So I'd have to think that the Snap app was, well, this one here, 1.2.6. The other ones are 0.17. So that's probably a little bit further advanced. Oh, God. Software. I have installed the Telegram desktop before, so we'll do that. It's a Snap app. Seems to work reasonably well. Mailspring is the other one. I am running Mailspring on another one, but most of the time I use Thunderbird, but I was testing out Mailspring. It seems to run quite well. I have had no issues, although I'm only running one email on there. Well, actually no, two. I'm running two, sorry, not one, I'm running two. I'm actually running two emails on my Hotmail. I've got my home email inside my Hotmail setup. So, but when you install Mailspring, it does recognize your other email, which Thunderbird also does as well. So that's pretty handy. So that's installed. So if we press the super key and type Telegram, there it is. Snap app does take a little bit longer to start up once it's on first boot up. Now, once it gets to that point, I can very much guarantee it's going to work. I'm not going to bother logging into that now. So the next now Mailspring app. Now the other thing is Zoom. So if we go to here and back to Google, so GOO, that should come up, yep. So Zoom is a video conferencing tool, video conferencing application. It's quite a good one. We use that on Big Daddy Linux Live. So if we scroll down to the bottom and click on download, choose your type, which is Ubuntu and 64-bit. We'll go for version, yep, download that. Save file, yep. What we need to do is go to the Software Center and we need to look for a program called Menulibre. It's a menu editor, we'll install that. Menu editor is now installed. That's a nice little notification up there to let me know it's done. So Zoom is completed. So what we shall do is go to our downloads folder. There's Zoom. Now I do this if I'm explaining this in a video, I do this for everything. I create a folder called .zoom, which is a hidden folder. So people don't see it when they're browsing around unless the hidden folders are shown. Now we go to downloads, we cut that. We'll copy that just in case. .zoom and paste, and right click on that and extract here. Completed successfully. That's our Zoom. Oh, hang on. Sorry, it's a .deb file, isn't it? What am I doing? I was thinking it was a Telegram one, wasn't I? Oh, I think. Alright, so let's start that again. Sometimes you do some silly things. That was one of them. Alright, let's go to downloads. That's why we installed Gdebi, wasn't it? So we double click that. Because we used to have to do these manual things. Now that we've got a lot of integration with the software center, we don't have to do that anymore. So that's install. Getting myself confused with all the applications. So actually Zoom is quite an easy install, and now so is Telegram. So it's a lot easier than what it used to be. Now the other thing we're going to do, 1, 2, 3 clicks, copy that and paste it into the address bar, paste and go. Kdenlive, download, and we're looking for the Appimage, and the latest one is 1804. Yep, so let's click on download file from preferred mirror, 15 mirrors. I'm not sure which one's the fastest one, but let's just try the top one, that'll do. So save file. Now that's quite a big download anyway. So that's what you would do there. So let's have a look at the software center. So Zoom is done. So super key, Zoom. So Zoom is running, that's good. And I'll actually, just so I can show you, let's start that up again, Zoom, and you'll see in the bottom corner, bottom right hand side here, you've got the indicator applet for the running application, and I'm sure that will do the same thing for Telegram. Let's just check it out. Yes, it has, which is good. Happy with that. Now, so we've seen how to install a snap. Now, I'm sure that there's probably there are some Flatpaks probably somewhere within the software center, I would think, although I haven't seen one. But if you want to install a Flatpak, you've got to go to the Flat Hub. So let's see if we can search for that in the address bar. Flat Hub, see if it finds it. So flathub.org. Now these are some of the apps. Now you can install Spotify. Now the beauty of these is they don't conflict with each other. So if you've got a Spotify Snap, you can also install the Spotify Flat Hub. It doesn't matter. They won't conflict with each other because they run independent. So you've got Kdenlive there as well. So if I was to install this one, now we haven't done a flat hub or Flatpak yet, so we can click on install here, that, and we save the file and click OK. Now that should download a lot. It's done, it's downloaded already. So let's go to downloads. So where's our Flatpak? So Spotify, com.spotify client Flatpak ref. So what we're going to do is, we used to have to do different things to install these before, but now they've integrated quite well with the Software Center. I'm going to double click that. Don't know how to handle it. Oh, okay. Alright, so there is a Spotify in here. I don't know which one that one is. That's from the Snap Store. So what are we missing to install FlatHub stuff? Oh, of course. Silly me. Once again, FlatHub. FlatHub, let's go to applications. We need to install FlatHub, don't we? So maybe we need .org, not apps. Home. About FlatHub, maybe it's on there. No. I could do nothing but find this thing. Oh, here we go. It's up the top here. So quick setup. There we go. So we're in the setup. How did we get there? Home. Apps. Okay. So I'm just trying to find how we got to there. About FlatHub, was it? Or publish FlatHub. Oh, we clicked on the FlatHub, didn't we? Okay, click on the FlatHub up here and quick setup. Ubuntu, that's the one we want there. Install Flatpak, there we go. So we have to use terminal for this, there's no doubt about it. So copy and paste that password. Press enter to continue. Are we finished installing in here? I think we are. It's okay. Paste that and do an update after you have put the Flatpak in there. Copy that and then we install the Flatpak. So first of all put the repository of Flatpak and then update and then install the Flatpak. And Y for yes, enter. So install the software Flatpak plugin. So you need to do this one as well. Copy that. That's probably why we didn't find any Flatpaks in the Software Center. So what that does, Y for yes. What that does is it makes it possible to install apps without needing the command line to install or run. So add the FlatHub repository, or that's if you want to search, I think, in the command line, I'm not sure. So let's just double check now and see whether we can do that now. Double click that. It still doesn't know how to handle it. Interesting. That's closed. I think the software center was open, so we'll close it and try again. We may need to log out, restart or something, I think. Let's just add this one in there anyway, just in case we need it. Oh, yeah, we need to restart. Let's just do that one anyway. Best to do them all. Doesn't harm. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, actually we're still downloading. Don't exit. We're downloading the app image, aren't we? How's that going? Almost complete. Okay. So 3 minutes left. So we've looked at snaps, we've looked at FlatHub, and we're still not finished with that one. And also we're doing an app image, so that'll give you an idea across the board how to install applications besides using the Ubuntu repositories. Okay, so we have finished downloading Kdenlive. So what we're going to do with that is go to downloads, we cut that and go to home, new folder, .kdenlive. Paste. Right click and go to properties and make sure that under permissions it's allow executing as file as program, allow executing file as program. Otherwise it will not start. Then we can double click that and away we go. So now with this one, which is the way we used to install Telegram and stuff, you won't find Kdenlive in your menu. Well, actually, I don't know if that'll work or not. Probably not. Alright, so this is why we need Menulibre, which is the editor. So we're going to put that in sound and sound and video sounds good. So click on sound and video. Add launcher. We need to see if we can browse icons and if there's a Kdenlive one there. Don't think there will be somehow. Search. No, there's no Kdenlive one. So I'll put my put in my USB stick. I do have one in there, I'm pretty sure. Apps, Kdenlive. Copy that to the same folder, which is home.kdenlive, and paste. And then we can go ahead and choose browse files, .kdenlive and PNG. Okay, so that's that, and we can call it Kdenlive. Now that doesn't matter, the spelling, you can have capitals and that doesn't matter. And the command, we need to navigate to that one there, which is the app image. Okay. And save that, save launcher, and that should be done. So if we hit the super key and type Kdenlive, there it is there, it should start. Hopefully it should start, and there we go. And that's done. So it started with a dark theme, now it's got a light theme, that's a bit weird. So the only thing we've got left is Flatpak, so I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to restart and then have a look, see if the Flatpaks work. Right, so we're back again. I've done a restart, so I'm going to go back to that Flatpak that we had and see whether we can get that to install. And that was the Spotify Flatpak. So double click that. And now that opens up in the Software Center. It looks like we're not going to get an error, which is good. Which means now that you go to the Flat Hub and look at what you want to install, it'll download that that little file, and all you have to do is double click on that and the Software Center will do the rest for you. So that's very handy. Well, I hope so anyway. It hasn't opened up yet. Probably first boot for Software Center too, so that sometimes can take a while. There we go. So all we need to do now is install it. I'll install it anyway. I don't use Spotify, but I'll install it for the purpose of the video. So let's just have a quick look at the Software Center again and scroll down to the bottom. So you have a look at the source here. The source is Flat Hub. So just remember that if you're installing something else, it could be Snap. And if it says Bionic Universe, it's from the standard Ubuntu repositories, which is the way we always install things. But Flat Hub and Snap are the newest things now, and they seem to integrate very well with the Software Center now, which is good. So that's Spotify installed, so let's have a look. Spotify, there it is. Probably take a little bit to launch. And there we go. So one more thing on my list I think I've missed is Caffeine. So let's do a search for Caffeine. Let's install Caffeine. Caffeine indicator, you're going to need that as well. So that's installed pretty quickly anyway. So now if we go to the Tweak tool and we go to, in the Tweak tool, Startup Applications, and we add Caffeine. Doesn't seem to be in alphabetical order, does it? So Caffeine indicator, add. So that'll show up down on the bottom right hand corner somewhere, I believe, once you reboot. Oh, that's actually, have a look, Caffeine indicator. There we go, there it is there. So I've added that to the startup, and when you start up, that'll always be there. So when you're watching YouTube and so forth, activate that and your screen will not turn off. And then when you're finished, just activate now. You can see the steam coming up, it's highlighted. And then if you click again, deactivate, there's no steam there anymore. So that works really well. And it comes in very handy when you're watching YouTube. So, just remembering now, if we go to the Tweak tool again, should put that as favorite. Now go to extensions. Now just remember, I'll just turn off dash to panel for now. There we go. And there's your indicators top right, time. And the Gnome-Menu is here. We can turn that off as well if we wish. So that's putting it back to defaults. So the only one thing I haven't done is, let's have a look. I haven't changed the shell theme. I haven't done anything with themes. I'm not going to touch the community theme, because last time I couldn't get back in the system because I don't know if it was that I installed that did that. I'm not sure. Gnome look. So Gnome look, eye candy for your Gnome desktop. So there's a theme that I was using called Afflatus, I think it's called. Let's do a search on that. Afflatus. And as you'll see here, it is if we go to Files, it's a Gnome, GTK Gnome Shell theme. So click on that. So we've gone to a GitHub page. So click download a zip and save file. That's done. So we go to downloads, Afflatus. So let's cut that, go to home. Don't forget we've got show hidden files enabled. So there's no dot themes here, so create new folder, dot themes. Enter. Paste it here. Extract here. Now that's working. So now if we go to the Tweak tool, we need to close that because we've just installed that. So we go to Appearance and the shell. So if we go to Afflatus, you can see that has changed now, and that looks quite nice. I like that. Now the problem here is when you minimize everything, this doesn't go transparent. So to solve that, go to Gnome Shell, go to this shell CSS1, hit Control F and type top bar, and there's 1 of 2, arrow down to 2 of 2, and if you see this background color, highlight that color there, leave the semicolon thing there and type transparent and hit save. Now, if you mess something up, it doesn't matter. Go back to themes, delete this, and then just extract again and try again. That's fine. So let's just go back to Tweak. Let's go back to defaults and then close the Tweak, refresh it, and then choose Afflatus again. Now you can see it's transparent across the top bar. Now it looks really good. So that's how you do that. Now I don't know if all shell themes work that way, but that's the way I've found that one works. So just to have a look at some themes, we'll have a quick look at some themes here. This one here. The Telinkrin and Orangin themes. So we'll download those. The Arrongin and Telinkrin. Also we have the Orangini. And the Pro Dark. So we'll quickly install those. So they'll all be in the downloads folder. They're all completed. Cut those and put them in the dot themes. They go the same place as the shell theme anyway. And they're all highlighted, so just extract here, they'll all highlight at once. And then we go to our tweak tool and we go to themes and they're all here. So let's just get rid of what we don't want and let's just have a look at this here. So we'll have a look at the change in that. So we'll go first of all the Arrongin. That is the Arrongin theme. Orangini. The Telinkrin, which is a bluish type color. The Pro Dark. Do we do the Pro Dark? That's the Pro Dark. Yep. So that's them all. Telinkrin, just to go over it. Orangini. Arrongin. Okay. So there's some quite nice themes there. Now, one more thing in Gnome Look we can do is go to back to Gnome Look, go to icons, icon themes, although you might find somewhere down here Papyrus. There is a Papyrus. You can also do Control Find on the website as well. Control F and look for Papyrus. 3 matches. So there's the top one. If we click the arrow for the next one, Papyrus icon breeze actions. That's the one that I normally use. So that's a handy little search to find what you're looking for instead of trying to spend all day searching for things. It's good to know the shortcuts. So we'll save that. That shouldn't take long. Now, go to downloads, Papyrus Dark Theme, cut that, new folder, dot icons, and double click your dot icons, paste that there, and right click and extract here. Now some of them have other folders inside, so this if you have a look at this bar here where my mouse is spinning around, that's your progress bar, so you can't do nothing until that's done. And it's the same with moving files and folders around the system. That's your progress bar. It's very well concealed. If you're not sort of taking notice, you forget that it's there. I do that a lot. So there's no subfolders there, that's just the one. So we go to our tweak tool and we go to icons and we can choose Papyrus Dark. So now we've got the Papyrus theme going on here, and if we have a look at our folders, that's different now. Uncheck show hidden, and now we've got the Breeze Dark. I reckon that looks quite nice. But that's just shows you how to install icons. So if you go to there, you can click back, go to icons and just search through all these and see what you like. So, and that's how you install it. So I think I've very much covered most things here that needs to be covered in Ubuntu after install. The things to do after install. It's quite a lengthy video, but I'll see if I can put some shortcuts in the show notes, and I'll leave all the show notes in there as well from my notes there. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.